Hello friends, and here am I back again, fully stuffed with some Indian food by my mother. Anyways, this video is particularly about the high school students, especially in India, because I know I did my 10th grade the last year in India, and I know that the students over there are like victims of extreme pressure and tension around them. So I was one of the students who was not at all like in tension. I was just tension free and worry less. It also wasn't that I didn't want to get good marks or something, but it's just that how I controlled my mind and just get out of this stuff and be happy and cheerful the whole year. As a high school student, definitely your day starts with school. Then in India, we used to go to tuition classes, which were like 3 to 4 hours a day after school. So at the end, eventually, if you see, there was no time remaining for the extra co-curricular activities or the homework time or the self-study. So you just had probably 2 hours for all these things, which are definitely important. Usually, a big change in students' lives come when they reach like 8th or ninth grade, when they join tuition classes like Fiji and stuff. But they're not aware. They just join the class like being excited of making new friends and stuff because that thing is totally new for them. But as they reach 10th, 11th and 12th grade, their mind gets bogged up and they just feel like they're not getting time for other stuff, and it becomes the time management really becomes difficult at that time. So then they regret the decisions of starting. Sometimes they regret the decisions of starting in such big institutes and stuff. They also have to sometimes like leave out their extracurriculars like sports and all. Like me and myself, I was a tennis player. I am a tennis player. I've seen some of my friends who left out tennis just for studies and stuff and going to such tuitions and studying in the 11th and 12th grade. Parents, you must also understand that you can't judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree. Like in the same way, you can't judge your children in the way that they're getting low grades in studies. They might be better at some other places. Like for example, my younger brother, he played really good tennis, and then his parents that didn't even force him much in studies and stuff. He liked tennis, so he played tennis, and right now he represents like Asian team at Wimbledon. So that's the same way. If a guy gets opportunity for the best thing, he can definitely do good in that. But it's just the thing that you need to get the right interest and the right opportunity for the thing which you like. So my advice to my friends who are in such situations, like just sit down and think of your own potential before you join any such classes. Like, will you be able to cope up with their studies or the amount of pressures from different sources, the tests in the classes, what if you get low marks? Will you be demotivated and stuff? Like, will you get time for your extra co-curriculars if you like dancing, music, and etc. Like me, I have also gone through this situation. Like I was confident enough that I will not definitely be able to cope up with the pressure and the amount of study load which the classes like Fiji and stuff do. My parents were also attracted by the good results of such classes, or maybe I can say the good results of the businesses. They are more of a business. They are just there to make money and just showcase the good results which they get. My parents were also attracted to these type of businesses, so they also wanted me to go there. But I was pretty much confident that I don't want to go there because I was a cool guy. I didn't want to take such a lot of pressure and stuff. So I took my own decisions. I saw my potential, and like I joined personal classes. Like not in such big institute and stuff. I did go to tuition. It's not also that I didn't go to tuitions, but I joined some personal classes which just helped me to get enough grades or stuff. And I can bet that it's not also that if you go to Fiji, then you can get a 90%. There are just 20 or 30 guys out of the thousands of them who get a 99%. So who says that you're one of them? It's really, really difficult and hard to be one of them. So I guess I can be the perfect example for you guys. Like I had never even thought of making such blogs or my interest in making blogs when I was in India. Because simply I didn't have much time to think about myself other than the school and tuitions and all the stuffs. So as soon as I moved to Africa a couple of months ago, after a year the education system over here was totally different. So I got some time to think and I developed interest in making blogs, and here am I. And blogs are not only like talking in front of your cell phone camera. It needs deciding a topic itself is the biggest challenge for me. And now about peer pressure. For those of you who don't know what's peer pressure, it's the kind of academic pressure which you get from your so-called class scholars. And some interesting thing which I found was every single person in a class undergoes peer pressure, no matter even if he or she is getting a 50% or a 99%. The 50% guy wants to get a 80% and the 80% guy wants to get a 99%. And even the 99% guy, he wants to get 100%. So everybody is rushing behind marks and nobody is caring about the happiness. And this is the situation where I personally feel I felt. It's man, I'm happy with the 70 or 75% which I'm getting, and you're not even happy with the 99% which you're getting. Okay, let me just tell you a story right here. Once a primary school teacher, she gave out an assignment to a group of students. She asked them to write what they wanted to be when they grew up. Some wrote down scientists while the other wrote down singers. Some wrote down astronauts while the others wrote down actors. But while she was going out through these papers, she noticed this one boy. He wrote down the word happy. She immediately went to that boy and asked him that, I think you misunderstood the assignment. The boy replied that, I guess miss, you misunderstood life. So what I believe is that along this busy life and the competition, our definition of success has been changed, has been blurred and changed to money and marks. Instead, it should be the happiness that you have got a life. I believe how funny this was. Okay, let me tell you, this was not my story. I was inspired by a Facebook video which I saw a couple of days ago. This Facebook page, it really makes inspirational videos. I'll put down a few links of those videos. You must check it out. So now, how to overcome peer pressure. What I did last year was that I was just studying for myself and not to be one of the teacher's favorite students, what most of us are aiming at to be. I knew that what I'm getting is my maximum potential, so I was definitely happy with that. I got enough marks which made me happy, which made my parents happy. That was what I wanted. But also I was definitely one of the teacher's favorite students, but not because of my academic results, because I was not much good at it. It was probably maybe about for the sports or the leadership skills and stuff, because I thought that I was good at leadership, so I grabbed any such opportunity in my school, any small event or sports event or stuff. So that's how you deal with such problems. Think with your positive mind instead of your negative minds. Some students also think about suiciding or dropping out from school, but that's what you think with your negative mind. Try and think with your positive mind. I bet it will change up your lives. Okay, now the two most scariest alphabets in the life of Indian high school students are FAs, the formative assessments. The formative assessment, I don't know who invented this formative assessment. They're the root cause of why the students are getting such tensions and pressures on their heads. How I dealt with it, let's say the next day I have a biology crossword puzzle, a maths graphical representation skills, or an English novel presentation, or a Hindi worksheet and stuff. I had too many things to do, and I had to go to tuitions, I had to go to tennis classes, I had to go to school. I didn't have much time to study for all of this. So what I did, I just switched off the lights and sleep off. Just don't bog up your minds with all such things. What is gonna happen will definitely will happen. Okay, and if you guys really want to study for that and you have a really short period and you're confused which subject to study, just pick up one subject which you like. I personally liked maths, so I just studied maths whenever I had a mood to study or I got some time to study, self-study. So that's how it is. Like, you don't need to worry much about the subject, all the subjects at such small scales, like such small tests and all. They do have some weightage in the final results, I know. But it doesn't, it puts you eventually into a vicious circle of like the pressures and tensions which ruin up your 2 years, 2 to 3 years, maybe more than 3 years of your life with your friends, and it's the teenage, the final years of your school which you need to enjoy instead of just being in the pressures and all. The last topic of the day: how to overcome failures for a student, or maybe also for the adults. This one also I would like to explain it with a beautiful story from the same Facebook page which I saw a few days ago. A university professor, he started off his class with taking out a 20-pound notes. I know this one's not pound, but still, a 20-pound notes. Out of this class of like 200 students, he asked that how many of you want this note. Naturally, everyone's hands were up. Okay, so he said, interesting. Then he said, wait a second. He just folded up the note twice. Now he asked, how many of you want this note? Still, 200 hands were up. Now he said, let me try something new. He took the note, scrambled it, and then he said, how many of you want this note? Still, 200 hands were up. Then he just squanched it, put it on his floor and scrambled it with his leg. Then picked it up again, now with dirt. He's now asked the same question, how many of you want this note? Still, 200 hands were up. Then he explained that students, today you learn an important lesson. As even after this note being scrambled out with dirt, you still want this note because it's still worth 20 pounds. In the same way how a 20-pound note held its value, so do you. No matter how many times life will squanch you, life will trend you, life will crumble you, you still hold that value. That spark of knowledge and eternity within you will always exist. That spark can never be taken away. So that's the way. Even if you fail or even if you get low grades continuously, don't get depressed, don't get demotivated by studies. Take it in a positive way, feel interesting and try to experiment new things. Our value is not created by the job title which we have, the clothes we wear or the bank balance. We don't have to live a life, we have to build a life. So here's the end of my video. Thank you for watching my video. I regret because it's going a bit long, but this thing, it's really important for the teenagers and high school students. I guess it helps you somehow. And do leave your comments in the comments section below. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and do subscribe to my channel for more such videos coming soon. Let me go now.